Hi guys, this is Anna with Shadowwick, and this video is for Witchtober Day 9, which is the woods. So in contemplating what the woods symbolizes for me, especially around this time of year, it really is a doorway to the unknown. It is it's part of the modern world that really isn't modern in most parts. If you go into wilderness, it's the same wilderness more or less that your ancestors had to deal with. In our modern age, especially with the dark of the year, if we run out of food, we go to the grocery store. If things get a little cold, we turn up the heater. Our ancestors didn't have that luxury. So they were needing to kind of fend for themselves and have those primal instincts a bit more sharpened and connect to that primal energy within a bit more. And the only place I can genuinely say I at least have felt those same kind of heightened senses is is when I've been in the woods or in part of nature that isn't dictated or connected to some modern safety net, for lack of a better phrase. Even when camping, if the car is right next to my campsite and there's a bear that comes moseying, in my mind, even though I know my cardio would not, I wouldn't make it. If the bear wanted to kill me, it could. But I like to think, well, my car's right there, so I can probably get out. And when I've gone camping, it's still pretty close to civilization, so animals coming out there probably pretty slim. But when you're just nature walking deep in the woods, and not like pathway concrete woods, but true wilderness, the deeper you go, the more isolated you become, and the more dark the wood becomes, and the more mysterious that wood becomes, and the more ancient the energies are around you. And that kind of kicks into those primal energies, and you feel a bit uneasy and you feel a bit unsure. And I find a lot of times when I feel uncomfortable by something, or when I feel I don't like something or I'm scared, it's because I'm uncomfortable with it. That's what I was trying to say. And I love being in the woods. I absolutely adore the earth element of the forest, but there is a bit of darkness to it that is unknown, that is unseen, that is uncertain. And so there's always a bit of trepidation. And that's what I wanted to put into a candle, is to learn from that trepidation, to learn from that uneasiness. I personally think that's why shadow working is such a thing. It's so amazing and healing for you, but in order to get to that healing and get to that kind of release, you have to go through some shit. You have to, sorry, but you do. You have to go through a whole lot of being uncomfortable and a whole lot of stuff you don't want to deal with, and a whole lot of stuff and that is just not your cup of tea. And it isn't because it's evil or bad or wrong per se. It's more, this isn't my nice warm and fuzzy place. This makes me unsure, it makes me unsteady, it makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to deal with this, but you have to. And once you do and embrace a bit of that shadow, it starts to feel better and you can start to heal. But that's what I liken the dark woods to, is as beautiful as it can be and as great of an experience at the end of the day when you get back to the campsite and you're back with your car right next to you, where if you need it, it's there for you. You can look back on that walk and be like, dude, that got really kind of scary in these few places, and I don't necessarily know why. And you can kind of meditate on that and think about that and find that it's this wonderful cathartic experience, but you need to get through it in order to get to that. Because while you're experiencing a bit of that dark wood energy, and you feel something watching you and you're not sure what it is and you don't know why it's there, and you have a bit of that uneasiness, you just want the uneasiness to stop. You just want to get away from it. But through that journey, you can learn so much. And that's what this candle is about. It's about connecting to the darker energies, especially of nature, during the dark of the year, to aid with shadow work, to aid with healing, to work through that darkness, not only without, but also within, to find that safe place around the campfire again, and come out even more enlightened and awoken than you started. You have the roots digging deep in the tree, connecting to the below. So I use the pentacle upright and inverted, not only for the god and the goddess, but also as above, so below. So you're connecting to that below energy, the things within us that maybe we don't necessarily want to connect to all the time, but sometimes you need to. And then the energies without, the support, the love, hopefully, the magic that's with us all the time, kind of bolstering that positivity so you can make it through the dark stuff within. And then in the middle, you have the crone waning moon with the eye for the inside of the crone. The crone aspect is very much about wisdom, very much about insight, and very much about dealing with your shit and owning it. It sucks to do. It's hard to do. But once you do it, everything can shift and change, and you can find that transformation that sometimes is needed. And it all works through the tree. So in this candle, we are kind of the tree, and we need to connect within to without through that insight and wisdom. So that is the Dark Woods candle, to connect to day 9 of Witchtober. Thanks, guys.